What's up, everybody? Welcome to Game Freak, and today I am finally building the arcade cabinet that I've been talking about. I have two pieces of wood here. They're about 36 inches in length and about 15 and a half inches in width. Now, the first thing that you want to do is you want to create the design of your arcade, which I'm going to have to draw it out here, the cut that I want on it. And you only have to do it on one piece, because after you do that, what you're gonna want to do is take both of your pieces of wood like this and clamp them together, then get a jigsaw and just cut out your design. So we'll get to that here in a minute. All right, so as you can see, I got a really simplistic design. I'm starting this out as a bar top arcade, and I'm going to build the stand later. This right here is going to be the bottom. This is where the joystick and everything is going to sit. As you can see, I have the pieces clamped together on both ends, and I just highlighted my design in black. Come up, and then it goes on a little bit of an angle here for the TV to sit in, and then I'm gonna have a flat spot here, and it's gonna come back across, and this is where my marquee is gonna be. So we are just gonna cut this out right now. The reason that you want to clamp these two together is, you know, you kill two birds with one stone, plus the cuts are going to be the same on both boards, obviously. I mean, if you've never done this before, that's the reason I'm saying it. All you people that have done woodwork, you know what I'm talking about. So let's get into this. All right, so now we got these cut out. Make sure you label them left and right. That's going to be important. And we are going to put some braces on. Well, not really braces, but this is how we're going to connect the things. We're going to put, I call them braces. We're going to put some braces on right here. I'll show you exactly what I mean. All right, so you want to take a 2x4, or this isn't even a 2x4, this is actually a 1x2. But you want to cut this to the same length as your bottom piece here. You want to kind of get this evened up. And I always make pilot holes so it's easier to put the screws in. All right, now obviously you want to do this on both sides. So now I'm going to do the right hand side. And by the way, these 2x4s are going on the inside. So all right, so after you have this piece of wood in like this, which I call braces, you want to do the same thing to the top up here, however big your marquee is. Mine happens to be 8 inches long right here, so I'm going to cut two pieces like this at 8 inches and do the exact same thing, attach them up here on the inside. So let's do it. So now you should have two pieces that look like this, or however your design is. But you should have two pieces where you have these braces on the top and the bottom. And I'll show you what we're gonna do next. All right, so the next step is you wanna take both of your pieces, and this is gonna be the bottom front. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna connect the two together like so with the other piece, and we'll go from there. If you don't have a workbench to work on right now, it's a mess in my garage right now, so I don't have a workbench to work on. So you gotta kind of improvise to get this stuff to stand up. So right there is what you should have so far. And again, don't worry about the garage. It's a mess in here. We run a farm here, so we got a lot of equipment laying around. So this is what the arcade cabinet should look like so far. Let's get on. We're going to do the same thing that we did to the bottom to the top right here. We're going to make the marquee go across right now. All right, so when you have the top on, this is what you should have so far. On the side, I didn't put the screen at too much of an angle. I mean, there's a little bit, but not much. I guess this way you can see it better. Yeah, you can see it's not too much of an angle. I said I got like a flat spot there that I'm gonna have something go across, and then it's gonna go up at an angle, a little bit of an angle. So that's what we got so far. All right, so the next step is we want to put a brace here on the top, because you know the front's already braced. So we want to put a brace from the inside here to the inside there. So we're going to measure that out on the top and the bottom. You know, obviously they're going to be the same. So I'm going to cut this wood up and screw this stuff in. Okay, so now we have the back braces on. So now it's nice and sturdy. Nice and sturdy. All right, so I have this laying on its side up here on this table. And what I'm doing is I cut two pieces of wood. These are just like 1 by 1s or 1.5 by 1.5. But this is why I always make a straight part and then go to an angle, is because this right here is what's going to be holding the TV. The TV is going to rest back on this. So I drew a line here. What I did was right where this starts to go to an angle, I came in 2 inches, and then I went in 2 inches up here. I drew a line, and now I am going to screw these things in on both sides. All right, so now we have the braces in that are, this is what the TV is gonna lean against. We need to put a piece down here. Oops, I'm sorry. Right down here. That's what the TV will sit on, is the next piece. So I'm gonna cut that out. You just have to measure from here to here, obviously. And I need to make a front piece for the flat spot. So I'll get to cutting that, and I'll show you the results. Okay, so now on this flat spot here, I got my piece of wood going across. Obviously, this is what the TV is going to lean against. And I also cut this piece of wood right here, which is going to go behind this thing, but down. Oh, sorry. All right. But down here, I'm going to screw it into this, and this is what the TV is going to set on. So you want to have a lip because you don't want that TV sitting on the top of this. You want it to be back here behind it. So I'm going to go a little bit behind everything and screw this in. We're going to set the TV in here just to see how it fits. And then I'm going to cut out the bezels for the side. All right, so this is cool. The TV fits in there perfect. Obviously this gap is all going to be filled in because I need to make the bezels and everything. And there's going to be something up here, you know, to really hold that TV in. I still need to make the top to this thing, but hey, we're getting there. And where the controller and everything is going to be. Okay, everybody, we are going to, this is where the marquee is right here. We're going to do the underneath here, which I already did. This is pretty simplistic. I didn't feel like I had to make a video showing me putting this on or anything, but I just tipped this thing over on its back and screwed it in. So now we got a cover there. Just need to put one on the top yet. And now I'm pretty much getting into where the joystick is going to go. Now, if you're using like a May flash like I am, then you're going to need a shelf for your joystick to sit, and that's the only reason this is in here. You wouldn't need, I mean, I guess you'd need one if you're going to use actual arcade buttons and a joystick, because, you know, you're going to have a little box. I just preferred not to do that because I don't feel like messing with wires. So, let me show you what I'm going to do. Okay, so this is where my arcade stick is gonna sit. It's gonna be pretty cool. And this is just an example piece of wood, but yeah, see, I have this like elevated just enough where when I cut some pieces of wood. Oh, there we go. It's gonna sit right on the lip of this. So it's pretty perfect. So now we have what the arcade stick will sit in between. I'm not going to put the arcade stick in right now. In fact, it's such a tight squeeze where it's going to be nice and snug where I'm going to have to take one of these off to put the arcade stick in. I also usually line this with like a strip foam, just so I don't scratch up the sides of the stick. That's what I did with my other one. It keeps it in there a lot more snug too. Also, you want to, well, this has enough room where that USB cord is going to go down, so you don't have to worry about like any pinching or anything like that. So yeah, this is coming along. Really, the only things that I have to do now is I still have to cut out a bezel for right here, and then I need to make the bottom and the top, and I got some thin wood for that. You don't need anything real thick. It's really up to you, especially the bottom. You really don't need anything thick, because if you're going to do what I'm doing and put it on a stand, it's going to be sitting on top of something nice and sturdy anyway. But like I said, I'm going to do the stand at a later date. Right now, this is just going to be what you'd consider a bar top arcade. So the other reason I'm not taking this stuff out is because after I get the top and bottom on it, I'm going to start doing my painting, and then do whatever artwork I need to do on it after the paint dries. So I'll show you what it looks like after I do a couple more steps here, and I'll explain what I did. All right, there she is. The only thing I have to do now is paint it up, which I'm going to do. I put the top on it, put a bottom on it. The thing that I was going to tell you, these are the bezels that I was talking about. So all that stuff underneath there, where we cut the slant with the jigsaw, you don't even really have to. If you want, you can, but I did it pretty straight. If it's a little jaggedy, then you might want to sand it. I didn't have to sand it. It went on there pretty snug, so I was pretty happy about that. And that's not a gap, that's a marker. So if there is any gaps, all you have to do is get some wood filler, fill that in, and then you got to sand that down and then paint over it. Won't even know that there's a gap. So time to start painting. So I almost made a boo-boo. I forgot I had to cut this hole out because I am powering this arcade with my Evercade. So yeah, the Evercade is going to sit right in here. That way I can just flip the lid open and change like the 2 carts in it if I want to change them. So yeah, I almost forgot about that. That would have been a pain in the ass to do after I painted it. So now I'm going to start the painting. All right, so we got it painted and I went with black. And I'm pretty much doing it to match my gaming chair, which is black and purple. So I think I might get some purple paint and paint these bezels purple at some point. The lettering and stuff on the marquee is going to be in purple, and I'll show that when I'm done in another video. And yeah, I'm not putting like a lid or anything on this. I think it will be pretty cool with the Evercade sitting in there and that red light glowing, so it'll light all that up. Plus I'm going to have lights on this marquee, and I believe I am putting plexiglass over the TV screen for protection. So I really hope this video helped you out. If you have any questions, just ask in the comment section. I'd be happy to answer. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps out the channel a lot, and it's greatly appreciated. So until the next video, game on.